followers, happy Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. We had so much fun yesterday doing alcohol inks, and I was going to do a part two today, but anyway, things just haven't worked out that way. So we're going to talk about some other stuff and chat through some stuff. And my hair's a mess. I have no makeup on. There's been a lot of tears today, so my eyes are very blue. So I just wanted to chat about a few things and give you some updates on things that are going on, and just kind of like have that crafty pause for a second. So I did actually think of a possible technique. I actually dreamt about it. So I thought we could maybe try that in a minute. And I've got some supplies down here so that we can try that out and see. But anyway, so I wanted to just hop in. I want to first of all thank everyone for their support, their messages, their orders. Oh my goodness, like I never ever imagined, like not in a million years did I imagine, even if you'd have told me a month ago that this is what was going to be going on, or even probably 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have believed you. So I'm truly humbled and grateful for all your orders. And there's definitely some light at the end of the tunnel to get things on an even keel again and get things going. So anyway, that being said, those of you who probably have seen the videos, I did make the video, the one I made 3 years ago now when all of this happened. I made it live again. A few of you had emailed and said you never got a chance to see what happened in the moment, and I think it explains everything pretty well. So that video is back there. Hey, Manchester. We were just talking about England, funnily enough. And anyway, so there's definitely still a lot of healing and pain, and Tilly got really upset today about some things. And it's really hard as a parent when you hear the impact of what has happened on your kids, and some of the time you have nothing that you can do about it or change, or and all of that comes out. Kids don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to contain emotions and keep things together and all those kinds of things. So there was lots of tears, there was some fights, there was some things, and I'd really like to try and get her into some therapy and things. I think she needs to kind of heal, and she needs to understand coping mechanisms and things. So if anyone's local and has a recommendation, let me know. But yeah, so it's definitely still tough, and there's moments where I'm definitely not okay, and I know I'm not okay, and it's really hard being on your own. We were married together for 13 years, so really, really long time, and I've known him since I was 15. So I've known him most of my life. I don't think there's anyone in my life that I've known that long. So yeah, so definitely some pain and things in that. And it's not that I ever want to go back or I have feelings. It's just seeing the impact it's had on Tilly, seeing the impact it's had on me, seeing how different I am, and knowing how different I am. But anyway, we're going to go onwards and upwards. A couple of things. Thank you, Polly. That I wanted to share with you, though. So I have this technique, and we're going to try in a minute, which is here. But I did list, and I'm going to do, so our members, if you're a Hedgehog Hollow channel member, I did 2 lives this weekend. One is they got to see an exclusive sneak peek of what is coming behind the scenes. And the other one is they got to see something that I've been up to. And I will be sharing that with you all this week once I have everything settled. But for now, I do have some updates on Maker Forte inks. So inks will be coming back. Thank you, Melanie, for supporting me on this part of that journey. The majority of the colors will be coming back. Re-inkers for right now will not. We've decided to put our investment into the inks and focus on re-inkers later. The only re-inkers we will be getting is Snow Flurries and Eclipse Black. So for those of you who wanted Snow Flurries re-inkers and Eclipse Black re-inkers, those we will be buying back. But other than that, it will just be the regular ink pads, and we have a good chunk of the colors, I think. So we'll share all of those details with you later in the week. But I think there's like 5 re-inkers left on the website. That's it in general for re-inkers for right now. So that's kind of the update on those. All right, what else do we have? Some other cool stuff I have to share with you. I also have, and a couple of you had commented, commented on my last video about this stuff. So I'm going to stick it this way so it doesn't fall. So those of you who loved our cardstock, and I guess, so I went and bought some cardstock. I can't remember what brand it was. It was a well-known brand. Hey, Jen. I can't remember what brand though, but anyway, so I went and bought some, and I was surprised how different it was. Like, I remember sourcing our cardstock specifically, but I just forgot, I guess, how different and stuff, because everything I have here really in general is Maker Forte. You can see some heartfelt creations behind me, yeah, and some lawn fawn there, but majority of stuff that I have is my own, because that's how I stocked my craft room. So what we have, and I have priced these like at an amazing price. Like, once this like little batch I have sells out, there's no way if we buy it back, it'll be at the old prices, and probably more, because I'm sure prices have gone up. But for right now, this is awesome. You get 2 packs of the Eclipse Black, and you get 2 packs of the 110 pound white in 8.5 by 11. And I think they're $15. So you get 40 sheets. So it makes them really, really good value. So it's like less than the price of 2 packs, and you get 4. So that's that one. Yes, Teddy Bear. Hi. What's up? Teddy's still having a PJ day. But she's working on a secret project that our members know about. Only the members know. Then I also have in here, and I think it was Carmen that was asking about this. So these are our pre-cut cardstocks. So this is pre-cut card bases. You get 10 slimline. You get 20 A2s. You get 20 A2 card fronts and 10 slimline card fronts. So they're all pre-cut so that they are perfectly straight and ready to go. They're not scored, but they are perfect. They are all pre-cut. Same deal. I think they're $14.99 on there. And then the last one I added, which is the one I'm going to use in the technique today, and it was one of my favorite products. Who remembers detail dots? So when you had detailed die cuts, these are just awesome. And it also comes with the Cathedral Sky layered die set. Now the die set on its own used to be like 30 something, and I put it all in. I'm going to tell you how much I put it in for, because I can't remember. And the detail dots were 8, and you can get both for $12.99. So it's a really, really awesome deal, because I just want to create some space so we can do new stuff and have new beginnings and exciting things. So if you're looking for some crafty supplies and you want to just, grab in and try some stuff, then they're a really good way to go. And the cardstock's awesome. But anyway, I had this dream last night. I'm on my laptop because my phone was about to die when I was about to go live. I forgot to charge it. So we're on the laptop again over here. And I don't know why I dreamt about this. No idea. Hey, Olivia. So we just recapped kind of what's been going on in life. We recapped about what re-inkers are coming back and some really, really great offers, some cool stuff I added to the store, some pre-cut cardstock, cardstock packs, and detail dots with dies. Link to the store is in the description, but I'll put it in the chat. And I also found out, I don't know why I can't do it. When I go live from my phone, it doesn't let me turn on the live chat replay. But if I do it from my laptop, when you're watching this later, you can see the live chat that we had during the main video. So it's kind of weird. I don't know what the deal with that is. But anyway, who knows? What do I know? Anyway, any day, I'm going to use those pre-cut slimline cards fronts and the Cathedral Sky die. Hey, Connie. So the Cathedral Sky die, I wish I had one. I have to make one. It's 5 dies. And you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of the layers as you wish. And what it makes, if I put the dies in the right order, if you guys can see, but it makes this really cool Cathedral Sky effect. It reminded me of like the dome at St. Paul's Cathedral. That's why I called it Cathedral Sky. We're going to use the most intricate one to see if this technique works. I think it will. Okay. I need some double-sided tape, ideally temporary, but I could use permanent if that's all I can find. And I don't know where the die cut is that we did the other day. I'm not sure. Anyway. I don't know. All right, we'll get to that in a second. We'll figure that one out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tip this down so you guys can see. So I have my Misty right here. Oh no, I'm going to go right red again. So oh my God. So for anyone who wonders what's in this video, who says, hello, Blondie, he's the one who sends me bright red. He actually has some fun videos. His idea was to do videos where you had no idea what was in them and an elevator opens and he posted some. I think he got busy with work and life. But anyway, that's the reason I then fall apart. So I'm kind of glad he didn't see the beginning of this and he saw it right now. Anyway, thanks, babe. I love you too. Anyway, we need this. And we need this. And we need some cardstock. And I need to grab a die. Oh my God, so many orders for this cardstock. It's awesome. I can't wait to package them. Also, I don't know if you know, but every order, some of you have been getting your orders in. I have been giving out one of the cards I've made. So you get a card and I write you a message. And I need a die. I'm going to use that one. Oh, wow, Polly. Polly just finished a 75 by 60 Afghan. That's amazing. I can remember the last time. I have a crochet project I haven't touched in like a year. Anyway, so we need to cut this out. That's step one. So I'm going to cut the middle one of this out. This is the Cathedral Skies die. So when you do it, that's what it gives you. It's kind of like a snowflake. No, this isn't Cathedral Skies. This is Daffodils for Days. So you could turn it into a poinsettia. You can turn it into a snowflake. But it gives you like that layered effect with your cardstock. Yeah, I'm going to cut out the second to smallest in a piece of the Old Maker Forte Eclipse Black. And I'm just going to run it through my diamond press. See how we did. We did a pretty good job, I think. I have a trash can back here. So all I'm going to do is take it and, if you've never done it, flick it. I'm glad you liked it, Laura. Yeah, every card, every order has a card. I'm just going to keep adding the cards until I run out. If you just want the card, you can go and order 5 of them, and one of them I'll write for you. Because some people are just like, I want to get a card. So I just added that as an option. Okay. You can, of course, use your magic wand to poke out pieces, but these ones actually fall out pretty nicely. And I'm going to show you another thing. Nearly there. Scratch, scratch. Okay. So this is the finished piece. So this is Daffodils for Days. I'll put this back in its So all the dies come in envelopes with a little Velcro closure on the back. And that's how they come to you. I'm going to just snip. So I have this piece that I can put on a card. And this is where I wanted to just show you how cool detail dots are. So probably lots of you think, okay, these layering dies are awesome, but I don't want to have to deal with sticking this down. So can you imagine now I have to go and get my glue and I have to put glue on it in the right places, or I could have added adhesive beforehand and then my die gets all gummy. We've solved this. So this is where the cool part comes in. So take another piece of cardstock. I'm going to fold you guys down because my phone is dead. You take these detail dots and you get 6 sheets in here. And this 6 sheets will go a really long way because you can keep reusing the same sheet. So they have a protective layer you peel up. This one is like lots of tiny, tiny little dots of glue, okay? All you're going to do is take your die cut, take the protective sheet, put it back over the top, give it a really nice burnish. You could do a bone folder, but just your fingers over it's fine. Or even better, just do your smusher over it. So just take your smusher. And everything I'm using is in the mini store, including smushers. But they're the last smushers I have. Okay, so take this, just peel it off. And I like to do, you can actually just, so here's my little trick for peeling it off. Turn this over, you see like this, just start the corner, hold it with the release sheet and pull. And then you don't have to worry so much. It's also going to weed the die for you on the way. So if like you see I've left a couple of little pieces on there. Then I just take my die cut. I press it down and it's stuck. And now the adhesive has only stuck where I wanted it. And all you do, and now I could take, and I could do, even with this piece that I use, there's tons of dots still on here. So I can take lots of little die cuts and I can keep using this piece like that. So it's super, super cool. So you can get a pack of 12 of this and the die I'm going to use today, the Cathedral Skies die, for 13 bucks. And like this on its own, I think, that's all I'll have to tell you, but I think it used to be like 8 or something like that. All right, so that was thing number 1 I wanted to share with you. Now we're going to go back to Cathedral Sky. So has anybody ever used their dies as stamps? Because I never did this, but I think it's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, here. So this is my Misty, and I have my sticky grid on here, and I'm going to lift this up. You guys can see it more. I'm going to lift this level up. It's not going to work, it's too big. Maybe if I use, I was looking for like my magnetic sheet. I can't find it. Maybe if I use 2 diamond press side by side, that will work. Oops. I did that side. Okay, so we're going to use 2 diamond press and see if this, still not going to work. I just want to raise the level a little bit. Let's see if that's enough. So then we're going to take our die, put it on here. I'm going to take a piece of my slimline card front. Oh, this is what I'm just going to do. This was one of our blueprint mats. I'm just going to put this in here because I don't want to touch the sticky. I'm going to stick my die down. I'm just going to put like a little bit of adhesive down. Oh, it's not enough. I don't have the other side of my little thing, but it'll work. I'm going to put this down in here. I want it to stick down as best as I can. Like this. I don't know if this is going to work. This is just an idea I have, so we're going to figure it out together. Actually, I wanted to use this one. Maybe I don't need to heighten it the same. Maybe. And we're going to take some tape. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on the back. Now, if you have temporary adhesive, that's definitely what I would suggest, but I don't. This is also going to see if the level's enough. So I'm going to press, and it picked it up. So that's a good sign. And this is just a little plastic mat I put down because I'm going to add ink, and I don't want ink everywhere. And I'm going to do a little ombre. So I'm going to use some bubble gum, some flamingo, and some Tiptree jam. Okay. So when we do this, we start with our lightest shade first. So we're going to start with our bubble gum. And I just want a piece of kitchen towel. And I'm actually just going to put it on the kitchen towel to ink up. So I'm inking up my dye here. And I'm going to about the star here. So about the point of that star. And I'd love to know if anyone else has tried this idea. You could probably run it through with the rubber mat too and do a slightly different version. But we're going to see if we can use these like stamps. And it'd be really cool with the layering die. So I'm just going to put this in here and put it back in that corner where I had it. Like so. Jen says, I've inked up a die and run it through my cutting machine with an embossing mat, but never stamped with one. I get big points actually though. All right, so we're going to push this down. And this, I think, is where the smusher is going to kind of come in. So this is a tool I invented. It gives you even pressure. And it's designed so rather than having a handle you have to hold, you put your palm over it. And it's made of wood, so it has a nice weight to it. I just might have to lift this die up a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, our impression is kind of light, as you can see. But the whole idea is kind of working. So we'll do the same thing again. We're just going to lift this up a little bit more. So I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of cardstock, which I have. Of course, I have my cardstock packs right here. So I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of the A2 card bases because they're the same size as my Misty. Probably going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. 6 of those. And I'm going to just put them in the bottom so it's not going to harm them at all. I can still use them afterwards exactly the same. And I'm just going to grab my piece of kitchen towel back. I can't remember which end is which. Okay, so this is my light end. So we're going to start up here with bubble gum. And then we're going to move down to flamingo. And I'm making sure that I do a little bit of overlap so it gives you a nice fade. If you're a junk journaler, you could do this on a piece of wax paper and have the negative to use on another project. And then I'm finishing it off with some Tiptree jam. We're going to put it back roughly where we had it. I'm going to put another piece of cardstock in because I know I moved everything around. I'm going to pre-tape it because I wasn't brainy enough to do that before. So I'm just adding a little bit of double-sided tape. Let's see. So I'm just going to stick this on here roughly because we're just playing with the idea. Okay, so I've done the same thing. Now I'm going to pull my paper over and I'm going to smush. Now, of course, you can also die cut out and use that die cut as a stencil. But I thought this was a kind of a fun way because I have so many of these intricate dies. Like I also have the love locket and all these things. Imagine if we could turn those into stamps. Or what if you stamped this like larger layer and then put a die cut on top of it? So you had ink and then a die cut on top, or a die cut with a stamp on top. So you could like mix and match between stamping them, embossing them with a rubber mat, like rather than just always having to cut the same thing. So this is kind of cool. I just think it needs more pressure. I'm actually going to stand up. Okay, we're making progress with this idea. So it's definitely, I also don't know if these ink pads are particularly well inked. Just bear that in mind too. So I'm going to show you this and then I'm going to work on how to perfect it for another video. If you can see, you can definitely see it's coming. So I don't know if it's just because my ink pads aren't that juicy anymore, but you definitely can do this and ink. So you need at least 5 to 6 pieces of cardstock underneath to lift it up because the die is not as deep as your Misty. I don't know. This one's pretty juicy. So if I just do it directly on here and see what happens. So you could also do this on paper. I'm just going to lift this up so you guys can see in a second. Hang on. Let's see how I did. As I say, this was just an idea I had. So this definitely works. This is definitely an option. But the other thing you can do is, so I inked, you see how I inked through that? Look at that cool impression that I would have. Imagine if you did that on a piece of cardstock. We'll do it and we'll see. This can just get washed. That's why I put my plastic in there. But if you had, oh, I have cardstock in the bottom. Let's grab a piece of that. So here's that cardstock. So take your die. This is cutting side up. Okay. And I'm going to stick with Tiptree Jam just so I don't have to wash anything. And these are nice because they have a foam pad, so they're going to go all the way through your die. Whereas a felt pad probably wouldn't work for this. You would have to do it with your brush. But look at that background. So rather than die cutting it, it does kind of work. Yeah, so a gel pad might work. I haven't got any of that stuff, but you definitely can do this. You could probably do it with this side as well, but it's got the dots in it. So that's why I figured the cutting side is solid. So you can absolutely do it. You could do it with clear and add embossing powder. You could die cut one and one of the larger ones and then put this on with water. If you flip the die over and use the flat side and ink, there's more surface area. I think, yes, there is, but you've got all the holes to poke it out. So you'll see all of those holes. Whereas if you do it on the cutting side, you won't have to do that. So that's the reason I picked that side, because you don't have any of the holes. Anyway, now I have pink everywhere. So we're going to put that on there. So anyway, that was our little crafty pause experiment for the day. Thank you for all the orders I've just seen coming in. Tilly and I actually get up every morning, and our Rich says, I make my coffee and I make her a homemade Starbucks drink. So I've created a homemade Dubai chocolate, hot chocolate, cold iced hot chocolate, whatever you call them. And I make a pistachio cold foam on top. Oh my God, it's so good. We do our own pink drinks. We do all this kind of stuff. And I make the cold foam and I do everything for her. And then her and I pick and pack orders. And then we get ready and we do our day. So it's really fun, actually, just the two of us. We just do that together. So thank you for all those orders. So yeah, the cardstock and everything is listed in there. And I tried to list it at like an amazing price. So go grab them. If you want to grab a Cathedral Skies die, you get the detail dots with it as well. So if you want detail dots, you can get them that way. And that's it. That's all I got for today. We'll resume alcohol inks next time. And then I've also got lots of really fun stuff coming up this week. So make sure you hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and trying out some different techniques. And I love to try stuff with you guys because if it fails, well, then we all know that we're not going to try that at home. So I saved you the fail. And if it works, great. You can all try at home and it works out there too. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to go live most nights. Tomorrow night is always a busy one for us, but I will try to. And I want to share with you some really, really cool stuff that's going on. So, yeah, super excited to share everything with you. Thank you for being on this journey with me and letting me listen. Let me just talk about stuff and listening. And yeah, we'll grab everything else very, very soon. So, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all. Happy crafting, and I'll see you in the next video.